A heavy capex allocation of 10 lakh crore rupees for FY24, simplification of direct taxes for India's middle class, and championing the path of fiscal prudence. These are some of the key points that Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman presented in her budget. I'm Varsha Meghani and you're watching Nuts and Bolts by Forbes India. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman presented the Union Budget 2023-24 in Parliament on February 1st. Given that this is the last full budget of the Modi government before the general elections of 2024, people expected Sitharaman to deliver a populist, election-friendly budget. Instead, she delivered what experts are calling a long-term thinking budget. Here are some of the key takeaways from the budget. There's a strong focus on growth in this budget through higher capex spending. Sitharaman announced an increase in capital expenditure to 10 lakh crore rupees for FY24, up from 7.5 lakh crore rupees in FY23. That's a 33% jump. The capex spend accounts for 3.3% of GDP, almost double pre-pandemic times. This focus on growth through higher capex spending will have a multiplier effect on other sectors and the economy. It will also help to crowd in private investment and lead to job creation. The Finance Minister announced tax benefits to provide relief to the middle class and also to encourage individuals to move to the new tax regime. No tax will be charged on income of up to 7 lakh rupees and only 5% tax will be charged on income of up to 9 lakh rupees in the new tax regime. Meanwhile, the maximum tax rate has also been reduced to 39% from 42.7% in a relief to India's richest. All this means that the government will be foregoing revenue of 35,000 crore rupees, but it will boost consumption, especially at the margins. India's fiscal deficit, that is, the gap between what the government earns and what it spends, currently stands at 6.4% of GDP, which is worryingly high given that the average of the last decade was 4 to 4.5%. In her budget, Sitharaman vowed to bring the fiscal deficit down to 5.9% in FY24 and to 4.5% by FY26. According to Madan Sabnavis, chief economist at Bank of Baroda, quote, "On the expected lines, the government has gone for fiscal consolidation. We are moving slowly along that path. If I combine what was said in the economic survey that we are back to normal and the worst is behind us, I would say there has been some kind of withdrawal. For example, subsidies have been cut, the Manrega allocation has been reduced. All the contingency expenditures that were made in the last 2 to 3 years have been corrected in this budget, which will help to achieve the fiscal targets." End quote. Despite the revival in the economy post-COVID, micro, small and medium-sized enterprises, or MSMEs, still remain vulnerable. And that's a problem because they remain among the biggest employers in the country. In the past, the government's Emergency Credit Line Guarantee Scheme has supported the sector. This time around, Sitharaman announced a 9,000 crore rupee corpus for a revamped credit guarantee scheme, which will potentially give credit of 2 lakh crore rupees to MSMEs and reduce the cost of credit by 1%. This will be effective from April 1st and will give a massive boost to the sector. The Finance Minister announced a slew of measures aimed at a young, aspirational India. 30 skill centers will be set up across the country to train lakhs of youngsters over the next 3 years in areas such as coding, artificial intelligence, robotics and 3D printing, all of which will help to support Industry 4.0. She announced the setting up of centers of excellence for artificial intelligence and 100 labs for developing applications that use 5G services like smart classrooms and precision farming. She also announced a national digital library for children and adolescents. A move towards green energy was another key area in this budget. With her budget, Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman has managed to walk the tightrope between growth and fiscal management. It's now down to the fine print and execution.